Krishna Prabhuji, you want to share the screen or do you want me to share?
Adhiji,
Yes,
can I
Mataji,
start
I
now?
said.
Yes, Mataji, you can.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नष्टकी. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 22. Bali Maharaj surrenders his life, verse 1 to 12. Text 1. Sukdev Goswami said, O king, although the Supreme Personality of Godhead was superficially seen to have acted mischievously toward Bali Maharaja, Bali Maharaj was fixed in his determination. Considering himself not to have fulfilled his promise, he spoke as follows. Text 2. Bali Maharaj said, O best personality of Godhead, most worshipable for all the demigods, if you think that my promise has become false, I shall certainly rectify matters to make it truthful. I cannot allow my promise to be false. Please, therefore, place your third lotus footstep on my head. Text 3. I do not fear being deprived of all possessions, living in hellish life, being arrested for poverty by the ropes of Varuna, or being punished by you as much as I fear defamation. Text 4. Although a father, mother, brother, or friend may sometimes punish one as a well wisher, they never punish their subordinate like this. Because you are the most worshipable Lord, I regard the punishment you have given me as most exalted. Text 5. Since your lordship is indirectly the greatest well wisher of us demons, you act for our best welfare by posing as if our enemy, because demons like us always aspires for a position of false prestige. By chastising us, you gave us the eyes by which to see the right path. Text 6 and 7. Many demons who were continuously inimical toward you finally achieve the perfection of great mystic yogis. Your lordship can perform one work to serve many purposes, and consequently, although you have punished me in many ways, I do not feel ashamed of having been arrested by the ropes of Varuna, nor do I feel aggrieved. Text 8. My grandfather Prahlad Maharaj is famous, being recognized by all your devotees. Although harassed in many ways by his father Hiranyakashipu, he still remained faithful, taking shelter at your lotus feet. Text 9. What is the use of material body which automatically leaves its owner at the end of life? And what is the use of all one's family members who are actually plunderers taking away money that is useful for the service of Lord? In spiritual opulence, what is the use of a wife? She is only the source of increasing material conditions. And what is the use of family, home, country, and community? Attachment for them merely wastes the valuable energy of one's lifetime. Text 10. My grandfather, the best of all men who achieved unlimited knowledge and was worshipable for everyone, was afraid of the common man in this world. Being fully convinced of the substantiality afforded by shelter at your lotus feet, he took shelter of your lotus feet against the will of his father and demonic friends who were killed by your own self. Text 11. Only by providence have I been forcibly brought under your lotus feet and deprived of all my opulence. Because of the illusion created by temporary opulence, people in general who live under material conditions facing accidental death at every moment do not understand that this life is temporary. Only by providence have I been saved for that condition. Text 12. Sukadev Goswami said, O best of the Kurus, while Bali Maharaj was describing his fortunate position in this way, the most dear devotee of the Lord Prahlad Maharaj appeared there like the moon rising in the night time. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Over to you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Krishna Venadas Prabhuji, please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Please take over the call, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Shivani Mataji, for reading today's Bhagavatam section slokas translations. Thank you all for joining. And thank you, Sundaram Prabhu and Radharani Mataji, for giving this opportunity to share a few points from Srila Prabhupada's purports or what I heard from other devotees for my own purification. So we'll start with prayers. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पश्चात्तदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th Canto, chapter 22, Bali Maharaj surrenders his life. This is a new chapter from slokas 1 to 12. And and it's a great fortune that we are in the section of Vamandev, and today is his appearance day. So Vamandeva Avirbhava Mahomatsvam ki jai. So thank you all for joining. It's today is a very auspicious, and we heard many wonderful instructions from various devotees in the past, going through this wonderful pastime of Vamandev and Bali Maharaj. So just to give a background, so after Vamandev appeared, so he heard that Bali Maharaj is performing yajna, and he went to the yajna sthala, and then in charity he asked 3 steps of the land, and we heard in the previous chapter that with 1 step he covered all the lower planet systems, and the second step with the second step he covered the upper planet system, and it reached to the topmost planet of this universe, Brahmaloka also. And then we heard Lord Brahma along with many wonderful sages. They all glorified the Supreme Lord and worshipped him. And then Bali Maharaj, all his possessions were taken away by Vamandev. So due to this, demons became very angry. So Bali Maharaj warned them not to attack Vamandev or his associates, but they took up weapons and went towards the Vamandev and his associates. But all of them were defeated by Vamandev's eternal associates. And Bali Maharaj then ordered all his followers to enter into the lower planet system. Then understanding the purpose of the Supreme Lord, so Garuda, so immediately arrested Bali Maharaj with the ropes of Varuna. And then Lord Vishnu also asked so about the third step, because with the 2 steps he covered the entire universe. So the third step is still remaining in charity that Bali Maharaj should give. So then Lord Vamandev mentioned that so if he is unable to fulfill his promise, then he will go into the lower planet systems like that. And in this chapter, we hear how the Supreme Lord is very pleased with the conduct or behavior of Bali Maharaj. And then the Lord not only placed him in the Sutala planet, which is opulent more than the heavenly planet, but he also agreed to become his doorman, so to glorify his devotee. So today we'll go through that slokas 1 to 12. So in the first sloka, we see that Sukadeva Goswami is mentioning to Parikshit Maharaj that the Supreme Lord superficially seemed to have acted mischievously toward Bali Maharaj. So externally, it looks like the Supreme Lord is cheating Bali Maharaj and taking everything and punishing him. But internally, he is protecting Bali Maharaj from the little false proud that he has due to the great opulence or due to the exalted position as the king of the heavenly planets, like that. So here is saving Bali Maharaj from the little anartha that he has it. So Krishna, of course, always protects his devotees, dear devotees, from any anarthas that they are attacked by, or if he sees that they are deviated from the path of Krishna Bhakti. So even I heard that even Sudama, Krishna's friend, so he was also has little false proud that he is very poor. He is poorer than everyone. So that's why Krishna gave a lot of riches so that that little false proud also will go away and they will situate in perfect pure devotional service. So similarly here also, Lord Vamandevi is protecting Bali Maharaj and removing that little false fraud that he has it so that he can be situated in the pure devotional service. Not only that, he will be glorified for surrendering everything at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. And also the other thing that here Sukadeva Goswami is mentioning that though Bali Maharaj was placed in an uncomfortable situation, but he was fixed in his determination. So this is another symptom of a advanced devotee or great devotee. So though they are placed in uncomfortable situation, but their determination is not shaken. So they will not deviate from the perform of the service at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. So, and when one performs bhakti under the guidance of a bona fide guru or senior Vaishnavas with this strong determination, then one can be able to conquer Krishna. Even though Krishna is unconquerable. So Krishna has many names and one of them is Ajita. Ajita means unconquerable. But Bhagavatam mentions that Ajita, Jito api asi tais trilokyam. So even though he is unconquerable, but he can be conquered through the pure devotion. So when one performs bhakti sincerely and seriously, with great determination, then one can be able to conquer. So similarly, we can also chant this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, which has been given by our Acharya Srila Prabhupada. So with a strong determination every day, whether it's rain or shine, so then we can also be able to please the Supreme Lord Krishna. And not only that, we can make our human life successful, and then we can go back home, back to Godhead. And then in the second sloka, Bali Maharaj is mentioning that to the Supreme Lord, that most worshipable for all the demigods, if you think that my promise has become false, I shall rectify this matter and make it truthful. And now he is offering his head to place the Supreme Lord's third lotus footstep. And Prabhupada mentions in the purport that so Bali Maharaj understand that Lord Vamandev has taken the side of demigods and he came as as a beggar to beg 3 steps of land from Bali Maharaj, and with that 3 steps he will take away everything. But Bali Maharaj is taking great pleasure in understanding how the Lord will cheat his devotees. For what purpose? To glorify the devotees' position only. So here also Bali Maharaj is glorified for giving everything. So that's why Prabhupada mentions that God is good. So whether he cheats or he rewards or he punishes, whatever it is, he is always our well-wisher and he always does good for us. So that's why Bali Maharaj, to fulfill his promise, he offered his body and he requested to place his third lotus footstep on his head. And Prabhupada also clarifies one thing, that because someone may ask, how Bali Maharaj's head could be sufficient for his third step, because with one step he covered the entire upper planet system, and in one step he covered with the lower planet system. So how can Bali Maharaj's head would be sufficient for the third step? And Prabhupada mentions that Bali Maharaj thought about this, and he also thought that the possessor of wealth, because Bali Maharaj is possessing all these three planet systems, so the possessor is greater than the possessions. So he is Bali Maharaj is greater than all these opulences what he has it. So thinking like that, so Bali Maharaj offered his head so that it will be adequate place for Lord's third lotus footstep. So that's how Bali Maharaj thought about surrendering his head at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, as it is appropriate. And then in the third sloka, so here Bali Maharaj is mentioning that he's not fearful of his material opulences or living in hellish planet or arrested by poverty by the ropes of Varna. But what he is afraid of it is cheating a Brahmana, or not fulfilling his promise that he was given to Brahmana, like that. And Prabhupada mentions that a devotee is not fearful of any material things. So Prabhupada also quotes Bhagavatam sloka saying that Narayana parasarve nakutaschana bipyati. So the one who has taken shelter at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord Narayana, so he's not fearful in anything. So any uncomfortable situation that arises in this material world, that will not make him fearful. So because Swarga Pavarga Narakesha Pitulyartha Darshana, because he sees everything in an equal manner. But what he is fearful is offending a Vaishnava, or not being in the association of the devotees. So, or here also Bali Maharaj is fearful cheating a Brahmana. So, because he has given a word to Brahmana, so he will not be able to tolerate of cheating a Brahmana. So that's why Bali Maharaj here is offering his entire body for the third step, to place the third step of the Supreme Lord. And in the fourth sloka, Bali Maharaj is mentioning that father, mother, brother sometimes may punish. So similarly here also, Bali Maharaj is thinking that Supreme Lord is mercifully punishing for his good himself. And because you are most worshipful Lord, I regard the punishment you have given me as most exalted. And Prabhupada mentions in the purport that this is the thought process of a devotee. So when some challenges comes in our day-to-day life of this material world, so then they take that as a Krishna's mercy. Prabhupada quotes that Bhagavatam sloka several times also, Tattenu kampam susamikshamano, like that Bhagavatam sloka saying that so due to our own karma, or due to our past deeds, if we have some challenges in this material world, the devotee tolerates it, and he engages in the service of the Krishna all the time with his mind, words, body. So such a kind of devotee is eligible for the liberation. So he will go back home, back to God. So similarly, here also Bali Maharaj is thinking that is taking this punishment as the most exalted. So Krishna's mercy. And Prabhupada mentions that a devotee, he understands that the so-called punishment is a favor to him only. It's just correcting that devotee and bringing him to the right path. So we see that Krishna performing this kind of thing with various devotees, like even when Indra also got puffed off due to his position, and in that Govardhan Leela we see that Krishna saved Indra from that anartha, that little proud that he has due to the exalted position. So similarly here also Bali Maharaj considered that this is the mercy of the Supreme Lord Krishna, so that whatever little anartha that he has it, that will go away, and he can situate in the perfect and pure devotion service. So that's how a devotee should be thinking when he was placed in an uncomfortable or some challenging situation in this material world. in their day-to-day life. In the 5th sloka, Bali Maharaj is mentioning that the Lord as the great well-wisher of demons, because demons always aspire for a position of false priestess. But Krishna, by chastising them, so he's putting them right path. So Bali Maharaj is considering here Krishna as a better friend than the demigods, because the demigods here Krishna is taking all the material appliances of Bali Maharaj and giving it to the demigods, because that's what demigod is are looking for. So they are getting some material benefits. Of course, they are also great devotees. They will be situated in their position and continue to serve Krishna, but still they have some material desires. But here Bali Maharaj is saying that he is a great well-wisher of demons, because here Bali Maharaj is getting the pure devotion service. And also Prabhupada mentions that in this material world, when one has great opulences, the material opulences like wealth or name, fame or position or high birth, all these things, sometimes they make them a little proud. So sometimes this wealth and comforts make them to be deviated from the path of bhakti. So Prabhupada mentions they will become blind to the spiritual life, like we see in the case of Nala Kuvera and Manigriva, the sons of Kuvera. So they are very rich. So due to that, they were not able to take up the process of Krishna consciousness. Of course, by the mercy of Narada Muni, they were brought back to the, they were put into the path of Krishna consciousness process. But usually, any material appliances, if a devotee is not very careful, they will deviate from the path of bhakti, so which is very dangerous. So that's why here Bali Maharaj is glorifying Krishna that so by this chastisement, so he was bringing back to the right path. And not only him, in the next 6 to 7 slokas, he's saying that many demons so who were inimical towards him, so they achieved the perfection of great mystic yogis. So when they were killed in the hands of the Supreme Lord, so they achieved the perfection of great mystic. So that's why here Bali Maharaj is mentioning that so the Lord's mercy not only on him, but on many demons also, many other demons also. Of course, Bali Maharaj is fully surrendered devotee. He is the perfect example of Atma Nivedana. But there are some demons who are not at all devotees. Instead, they are inimical to Krishna. But they are also achieving exalted positions as the great mystic yogis achieves. And here Bali Maharaj is mentioning that in one work, Krishna serves many purposes. So here also we see that in one pastime of this wonderful Vamandev, in this one pastime, he is serving many purposes. So he is fulfilling Aditi's desire, Mother Aditi's desire, and saving demigods from their suffering, bringing them back to their position so that they can continue to serve, and protecting Bali Maharaj from the little false pride that he had it. And also he is bringing Mother Ganges into this material world so that all the conditioned living entities like me, we can take advantage of Mother Ganges water. And not only that, he is also teaching many wonderful instructions, how to lead the life. And also, most important is glorifying his dear devotee Bali Maharaj for surrendering everything like that. And by performing these wonderful pastimes, Janma Karma Chame Divyam, so that the conditioned living entities can be attracted and take up the process of bhakti. So that as they progress, Takta Deham Punarjanmana iti Mameti so Arjuna. So they can go back home, back to Godhead. So with one work, Supreme Lord is performing so many wonderful things in this pastime. So in the next sloka, we see that Bali Maharaj is mentioning that Prahlad Maharaj is famous in the devotee circle. And because although he is harassed by his father Hiranyakashipu, he still remained faithful, taking shelter at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. So here Bali Maharaj is giving an example of Prahlad Maharaj, who was harassed by his father Hiranyakashipu. But still, we see that movie also, right? Narsimha Avatar, Maha Avatar Narsimha. like how Prahlad Maharaj went through so many challenges that were sent by his own father Hiranyakashipu, but still he was determined and fixed and faithful to the Supreme Lord. So Bali Maharaj is mentioning that is following in the footsteps of his grandfather Prahlad Maharaj, and he remained fixed in his devotional service. Though Lord is externally looks like punishing him. So Bali Maharaj is mentioning that he is fixed in his devotional process. And the text 9, Bali Maharaj is mentioning that about this material body, which is temporary. So it will go away at the end of this life. So as soon as our time comes up, then this material gross body will go away, which is temporary. And he's also mentioning that the attachment to the bodily things, whether it's a family members or wealth or name, fame, or positions, whatever it is, so they will all be go away. Like, that's why he's saying that what is the use of this? So either wife or kids or everything. So because they are only source of increasing material conditions. Because when we got married and we get kids, then our need of material things will increase little by little by little bit like that. That's why here is saying that what is the use of this family, home, country if they are not engaged in the process of Krishna consciousness. So that's why our scriptures advises our acharyas stresses that so we should utilize whatever all the resources that we have. Of course, I'm talking to myself in the process of Krishna consciousness. If we can be able to engage, then it is the perfect. Otherwise, if we are not able to engage or if our activities are not in line with the Krishna consciousness, then Bhagavatam says that Shama eva hi kevalam. So it's a simply waste of time. So that's why the scripture says that we should try as best as we can to engage all our energy, resources, or time and everything in the process of Krishna consciousness. So because the human life is meant for self-realization, not for increasing all these unwanted things. So we should try as best as we can to keep ourselves are connected to the path of Krishna consciousness or make our activities centered with the Krishna consciousness. And here is also Bali Maharaj is mentioning that so his grandfather who achieved unlimited knowledge, so he is fully convinced of the substantially offered by shelter at the lotus feet. So that's why he took shelter at the lotus feet against of the will of his father or demonic friends. So similarly, Bali Maharaj also took shelter of the Supreme Lord, surrendered to the Supreme Lord against the will of his spiritual master, Sukracharya. So this is the act of an intelligent person, like having unlimited knowledge. So who is intelligent, so good knowledge, who has good knowledge, he will take shelter of the Supreme Lord and practice Krishna conscious sincerely and seriously. So in the 11th sloka, Bali Maharaj is mentioning that only by providence I have been forcefully brought under the lotus feet and deprived of all my opulence. And because of the illusion created by temporary opulence and people in general, so facing accident at every moment, do not understand that this life is temporary. And only by providence have I been saved from this condition. So Bali Maharaj is appreciating the actions of the Supreme Lord. So though all the members of the demonic families, of course, except Bali Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Bali Maharaj, they consider Supreme Lord Vishnu as their enemy. Here Bali Maharaj is mentioning that actually he is not the enemy. He is the best friend of their family. Because here Vamandev is protected Bali Maharaj from the deviating from the path of Krishna Bhakti. So he is saved from that little proud that he has it by taking away everything. So that's why here Bali Maharaj is appreciating that Vamandev that he brought him to the right path by this chastisement. And Bali Maharaj is mentioning that people in general, they're in illusion, and they are do not understand this life is temporary. So not understanding this life is a temporary, they are indulged in sense gratification due to the uncontrolled senses. Prabhupada also quotes that adanda gobir visatam tamishram punap punascharvitam charvinanam, like because of the uncontrolled senses, persons who are addicted to the materialistic life, so they are indulged in sense gratification, and due to that they perform sinful activities and they go towards the hellish conditions. So that's what even Lord Rishabhadev also mentions in his instructions to his 100 sons, like that, nonam pramatta kurute vikarma. So due to the madness, or considering the sense gratification as the aim of the life, people perform the sinful activities. So due to the sinful activities, what happens? So they'll go towards the hellish planet. So Bali Maharaj is also warning or stressing us that so this body is full of suffering, and if we continue to get one body after another body because of uncontrolled senses performing sinful activities, then we'll continue to suffer it. So that's why Balimara is appreciating here that Lord has saved him. So similarly, we can also be in the association of the devotees and practice this Krishna conscious sincerely and seriously, and try not to be indulged in any sense gratification activities, especially sinful activities. Then we can also be saved from the continuous miserable life that one would go through by getting one body after another body, this material body. Janma karma cha, I mean, Janma mrityu jara vyadi dukkha doshanu darshanam, like that. So we'll be saved. Like that, Bali Maharaj is appreciating that Vamandev, that he has saved him. And then at that moment, so Sukadeva Goswami mentioned that while Bali Maharaj is describing his fortunate position like that, at that moment Prahlad Maharaj also came there. And in the next sections, we will see how Prahlad Maharaj glorified Supreme Lord, and many other devotees, how they glorified, and how the Supreme Lord is pleased with the behavior of the Bali Maharaj. Like that, we will hear in the next sections. So I'll pause it here. Thank you all for joining. Randra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavran ki jai. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya vacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare
Take
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you all devotees for joining the class today. Hare Krishna.